following journey into comics.
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 Journey into comics. Network. Production.
Standing at an astounding 5 foot 8.5, chubby and semi-attractive, it's Rolo!
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler. And we're coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Podcastrophe, episode 87. I'm your host, Dick, and returning for the first time in, I think, three weeks,
3 weeks.
we got Tyler.
I'm back
He's back.
for 1 week.
For 1 week. Who knows? His schedule has been kind of in flux, right?
Yeah, it's just
I don't think we've even talked about that, like, at all. He just kind of said, "Hey, I'm unavailable in like the next 2 weeks."
so there was a my brain stopped working there for a second. There was like a short period of time where I was in a roundabout way forced to work nights temporarily. That came and went, and then it was, well, here is the end of the school year, and the most difficult stuff you've ever tried to learn in your life, and I'm not going to teach it to you. But I'm going to say that I'm teaching it to you. Mm-hmm. So the same runaround that I've been talking about the whole school year. And it's been a very trying time for my brain.
Yeah.
Super, like, what I've figured out over the school year is I am not entirely a math dummy. I can do me some math. Addition, got it. Some subtraction, oh, I can do it. A little division and multiplication, I got you. Give me some formulas, I'll figure it out. But super complex, abstract, not applicable ever, really, unless you're an engineer level math, it's pretty tough. And then it's already hard enough, and then you don't have someone not necessarily holding your hand, but shepherding you through the process and expecting you to get it in a very finite amount of time while screaming at you, "This is the most difficult thing of the year." Okay, why did we not structure the curriculum so we could kind of build up to this in a reasonable way, and we move from one facet of the subject to the next so it's all cohesive and it all makes sense and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then now so tomorrow I have my final exam for my history class. That's cake. But Monday I have my last test of the year academically. It's on electrical code.
Oh. Like not like code, like typing code, but like straight up.
Like the laws of
Yeah.
electricity.
Yes.
From a government down to a consumer level. We have not gone over code at all this year.
Awesome.
So, went to class last night, spent an hour and a half not knowing how to go through the code book and, you know, trying to zone out as much as I can, because anything that's being spoken about at that point in time is just a waste, you know. So you know how I do when I shut my brain off. The world around me is just dead.
Yes.
Yeah, so did that. Been trying to get caught up on Game of Thrones. I told you right before we started, if Skylar and I watch 3 episodes a night for the next 5 days, we will be totally caught up. And I had some stuff spoiled for me yesterday, like late last night.
Yeah.
Pretty upset about it. Because it's one of the things, and I don't know if we want to talk actually say what they are.
We're gonna wait until Thursday. The real Game of Thrones talk is Thursday.
Okay. But yeah, the main I'll just in a roundabout way say it. There was some character deaths. That one of them I knew was going to happen just because of the character's arc. It made sense.
Yeah.
It felt right. The other one upset me pretty bad. And if you go back to any of the podcasts I've ever been on where I talk about Game of Thrones, and I talk about if this person dies, I am legitimately going to be pissed. And there's not very many people on that show that I care about. I mean, I can run through my list real quick. Jorah's my number 1 man. Braum, he's number 2. Jaime's number 3. Everybody else after that, it's just kind of, I don't really care. So, if that answers one of the things for you there.
Yep.
So, pretty upset. What does my wife say?
Says stop talking Game of Thrones.
I'm just explaining that, and it's not even that I'm so upset that this spoiler took place. It's how it was given to me, because I was reading something that was totally unrelated to this past Sunday's episode, and I'm scrolling and I'm reading, and then I get to the bottom of the paragraph, and it's like, blam! This happened! You can't avoid it at all.
Wow.
And I was legitimately pissed.
Wow.
So, I got no warning whatsoever that was going to be at the bottom of that paragraph. And what I was reading about was totally unrelated at all. So, pretty sad.
Well, if it makes you feel better, they did it right.
Other than it being so dark you can't see, but
people are complaining about that.
I know.
And there are some people that have legitimate complaints, in terms of, yeah, it was dark. And I will admit, it was really dark. However, a lot of people had the issue, had compression issues, which it was pixelated and it just wasn't shown right. But, however, mine, I feel like if this was presented in 4K HDR, it would have been fine. Still dark, but fine.
right.
But that's the whole point of this episode was it's the long night.
Right. Well, and
They're trying to put you in the mood that all the people there in. They can't see either.
well, and I read kind of a quick exposition from the directors / producers of the show,
showrunners.
Specifically that episode. They said if you go back and watch season 1 through, say, the first half of season 5, which Skylar and I have done recently.
Yes.
There are certain episodes where things are exponentially brighter than they should be. So the first 5 seasons, they shot a lot of stuff outside during the daytime, so they had all the natural light. And then, like us in the studio, they had artificial light on top of that to make those scenes and those episodes super, super bright because it's summer. And they wanted from episode 1 of the first season until episode 7. There's 7 episodes in the last season? Or 8?
8, I think.
Okay. So until episode 8 of the final season, they want you as the viewer to see that transition of just the environment. So had that scene been shot in season 1, you would have been able to see everything in perfect detail. But like you said, it's the long night. You're fucking in it.
Yes.
So
it was a level of immersion that they really wanted.
Thank you.
to get
That's the word
across.
I was looking for.
And hey, boy, you got it, because for the longest time, you can't tell shit from shit. And there's a lot of scenes a lot of blizzardy scenes that you can't see shit in either.
But I mean, it makes sense. It's a fucking blizzard at nighttime.
It does.
With magic. It happens. But even though I haven't seen it, you know, I have done what little research I can to stay spoiler free. You know, it's ironic. What gets me is the stuff that's not related at all. So
Yeah. How are you enjoying season 5 so far?
season 5, not a big fan.
Yeah.
From everything I've read, everywhere, everyone says that it's the worst season.
It's a lot better the second time around. I really hated it the first time. I was really bored with it. Especially coming off season 4.
It is a very slow season.
It's a character building season.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's unnecessary character building.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff with Arya, in season 5 anyway, you know, it's all kind of unnecessary. I mean, obviously all the stuff with Jon becoming Knight Commander and stuff like that, I think that's obviously relevant for what comes at the end of season 5.
Yeah.
I have seen the end of season 5. Skylar has not, so I will not spoil that. But yeah, it just, anything that takes place close to the wall is to just heighten tensions for what's coming, the wildlings, and then obviously introduce everything that's going on in the east, you know, across the sea. So
Yep.
it's not awful. I actually, you know, if season 5 was the last season and I had to pick between season 5 and season 3, I'll pick 5 all day. 3 is not an enjoyable season for me.
3 was okay.
I mean, you have the Red Wedding,
Yeah.
which, you know, just storytelling wise is incredible.
Starting that season off, like, it was awesome.
Mhm.
Like the start, like that weird, the way they shot Rob taking whatever. I'm pretty sure that was the very, very first episode of season 3. He took whatever battle, and then he ended up taking Jamie prisoner in that battle. Very first episode.
Yeah, because they said basically he sent like 1,800 men to their death in a ruse, a little military strategy. Huh, I bamboozled you, fucking Lannisters. Gotcha. So, I don't know. I'm ready to get caught up and just, I'm not ready for it to be over with.
Same.
Just because, you know, I was into it so hard, like season 1 through 3, and then, you know, I've talked a lot about how it's my wife's fault I'm not caught up on this show. But
I'm looking at you, Skylar.
I'm really enjoying the experience of watching it with her, because like I told you and pretty much everybody else that like season 1, season 2, I don't know what changed for her. I don't know if it's because we're parents now and there's a lot of family drama and, you know, stuff that we don't have to deal with that really hooked her and made her interested in it. You know, she was texting me at work, talking about it, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, I enjoyed it watching it with Miranda. I mean,
But
I started it over, watched it all the way through.
Oh,
with her.
it's worth it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, season 3 we kind of wavered a little bit, just because of, you know, all the same reason I couldn't be here to do the podcast and shit. It sucks trying to cram Game of Thrones at fucking 9 p.m. at night when you gotta be up in a couple hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a really good experience. I'm ready for the end of season 5 through the end of season 7, just to see how she takes all that. Because I know what happens. Yeah, obviously. She has no idea at all.
Season 6 was fucking good.
Oh yeah, like obviously I haven't seen it, but I know everything that happens. So, yeah, just I mean, like if it was only audio, like imagine if season 6 was an audio drama. Just the stuff that certain characters say, it's fucking incredible. So, I'm excited. Not to get to the end, but to approach the end.
Yeah. It's the journey. It's the journey. So, before we really get into this episode, gonna hit a low note. It's with a very, very heavy heart that I have to say, Richard, former guest of the show, is no longer with us. There are no details of what happened. We can only make assumptions.
And I don't really want to speculate.
Yeah.
Because I don't... Richard was always good to me. I mean, obviously, for a lot of people, Richard was a D-bag and, a degenerate. But Richard was always good to me.
Richard was always Richard. That's the way I looked at him. Like, he may have been a scumbag, but...
He was our scumbag.
He was our scumbag. He's not a bad guy. He was not a malevolent being.
Mm-mm.
He just did dumb shit. He enjoyed doing the dumb shit.
He was, if I had to quantify Richard, he was Danny DeVito's character from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just not Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Lots of drugs, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Richard, it just bums me out. Like, I'm not... I said it before, I'm not surprised. None of us are really surprised. Especially if, like, what we think is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, despite being not surprised, we're all shocked. And it's just the biggest bummer because, I texted him last Thursday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday I texted him.
He called me a couple weeks ago. And
Really?
I was at work and I couldn't answer. And I texted him and he never responded.
That's been the issue lately. So he had his accident back in January, which we think may have been more than just an accident. And then his phone just went off. Wasn't on his phone. So I tried texting him several times back then. Waited a couple weeks, texted him a couple more times, still nothing. So I just didn't even try for like the longest time. So I went out to where he works, or where he got moved to, and
I forgot he got moved to Trim.
Yeah, he got moved out the door line, and I got sent out to door line. So I texted him. I'm like, I'm on door line, bro. This is like Wednesday or Thursday. And he's like, why? He actually responded. I was like, holy shit. He goes, why? I said, containing a defect. And he just read it. Nothing. So I kind of suspected something was up.
Mm-hmm.
So and on top of that, I was like, hey man, need to get you back on the podcast sometime. Thinking, he was always begging to be on the show any possible time he could. When am I going to be on? When am I going to be on again? When am I going to be on again? And so I figured that would get a rise out of him. That would get some excitement. And if he was in a low place, he would get excited, and that'd cheer him up and get him going again. He just read it. No response. So I knew something was up. And so whatever happened probably if this was Thursday that I texted him, it happened the next day. And really bums me out. I mean, it's you always feel guilty in these situations. I know a few people that feel like extra guilty. But at the same time, there's nothing you can do. Nothing you could have done. I mean, from what I understand, if what we think is true, then he had already basically been planning and setting it in motion for a little while. Knowing some things that I know. Yeah, it's just a giant bummer, but at the same time, like I talked to Dave Cox today. He immediately came up and kind of, I think, broke the news to Desiree, who would, like, we heard immediately yesterday, Sean Tag. He says, hey, Eric Brooks texted me. He said Richard's dead. I was like, what? So yeah, he's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but and then slowly but surely information just started coming in, and no details, but just I looked, and sure enough, there was no bit. Just a date and an age. That's it. No other information. His name And then, yeah, so, and I sat and talked to Dave for a couple minutes, and he just kept, he's like, you all right, man? Are you all right? Like, it's tough. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. And I told him, I was like, it's never been my thing to mourn. I choose to celebrate, because what else can you do?
Right.
I mean, I think that's the best way to handle any situation of that sort. Like, you can't hang on to the fact that they're gone. You gotta celebrate that they were.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Look at his life, And on top of that, I started thinking, like, man, he was on at least 5 episodes of my show. That's upwards, and at 2 hours apiece, sometimes 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he was definitely on there for a couple 3 hours.
Yeah, that's upwards of 10 hours of his life and his personality and just the entire spectrum of Richard, because we got a lot. We got the whole spectrum. We had his stupid idiot moments where he's just a total jackass and just trying to being himself, being funny. We got serious Richard, like where he's like serious and passionate about a subject, or we got pissed off Richard for like upward, like maybe 2 minutes. We got real Richard, where he's just being real for a second, and we got the whole gamut of him as a person, and like I feel very fortunate and blessed that we had those moments with him, and it's all documented, it's recorded.
Well, and one thing that I always appreciated about Richard, and anybody can say whatever they want about him. I mean, especially now that he's gone, he's not going to come back and get you. But the guy was devoted to his children.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that claim to be a better human being than Richard was, and they're not devoted to their children in the way that man was. So.
Yeah. I tell people, I've been telling people, like, say what you want about Richard, and, he might not have been the best role model, but he was a damn good dad. I've seen him I saw him with his kids on more than one occasion. He was always an excellent dad. Like the way he handled his kids, Yeah, he's probably got like 18 more of them out there that no one knows about.
Probably.
But I feel for that family.
If you walked up to Richard and said, "Hey man, you're my dad," he would look at you and say, "All right, come on
probably.
in. Come on in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel for that family. That's a big hole. That's a personality that can never be replaced,
He was definitely one of a kind.
And that's putting it very, very, very lightly. So I would actually like to. So he had a YouTube account with like only 2 videos. They're both videos of him singing songs. And the way I found out like this was legit was somebody sent me a screenshot of his cousin.
I saw it. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was confused for a minute because she has the same name as his wife. So and this was the video she posted of him, and so I listened to it, and I think it definitely. It's from, let's see, January 7th, 2015. And,
years ago.
Yeah. And it's just, I think it's a good representation of him. So we're going to go ahead and play that. I'm just going to go ahead and take away some stuff. This isn't about us. It's about him right now. So this is Richard singing a song apparently called Killing Me.
Let's try this. I don't know
And our memories, will you save me? Will you save me?
Yep. Oh shit. There we go. We're unmuted from the stream now. Yeah. I thought, listening to that last night, I was like, wow, that's perfect. Because all Richard wanted to do was have fun, and I felt like that's one of the things he was always longing for, was to just go back to the time when there was no responsibility and he could just be, you know. I mean, which is, you got to do it. You got to get up and you got to face the day. I feel like we all kind of long for those days when we could just innocently be irresponsible,
Oh, yeah.
and not deal with the day-to-day.
Naivety is something that a lot of people don't appreciate while they have it.
Yeah.
Because the tax manna cometh, and he cometh hard and dry.
Very well said. So, yeah, that was Killing Me by Richard Olovich. Or at least I hope it was by him. I don't know if it was a cover or not, but either way, it was performed by Richard Olovich. Gonna miss him, man.
Me too.
Gonna miss him. Wearing my Rolo shirt right now. And I texted you earlier, I'm like, man, I need a fucking beer. I mean, a lot of that had to do with my work day, but a lot of it also had to do with Richard. So I chose none other than Phoenix Tears by 450 North.
It was delicious while it lasted for me.
Yeah.
I gotta get a Rolo t-shirt now.
I'm pretty sure they're still on Teespring, so.
Not that I need it. Not that I didn't need one, but,
Yeah.
Or I'll have Skylar make me a shirt. I might just do that. I might have Skylar make me a shirt.
There you go. Yeah, I thought Phoenix Tears was fitting, So, here's to you, Rolo. Here's to you. Jennifer asks, is Teresa back yet? No, Teresa is not back yet. I'm still stuck. It sucks. It is what it is.
Go away, Jennifer.
Yeah, you're not even there.
We're sad. You're not at work. I'm not there anymore. which makes me more sad that Richard's gone. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just sad.
it is. Like I said, it's pretty much the ultimate bummer.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Because when I get sad, I get mad simultaneously. So I think about, in my time at Subaru, I think about all the times that, like, Richard and I had fun, and it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I mutilated myself unintentionally just so I could fucking laugh with that guy, you know? And
Yeah. I was there. I was right there.
Yeah.
I was right there working with him.
Yeah, you were up there. You know, and I think about all the times that certain people were just fucking dickbags to that guy
Yeah.
just because he existed. And, like, they were this one person is not anyone who should ever cast stones at anyone else. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So, it's sad.
It is. And, it's one of those situations where, like, I was always on Richard's team. Maybe towards the end when he was in Sealer, I was kind of on the fence about him because of information I had got. But who knows if that information was even true. And I kind of look back and feel bad, wish I wasn't as dissonant as I was.
One, you got to remember, too, I mean, as much time as we spend with each other as working professionals, number one, you got to entertain yourself somehow.
Yeah.
Number two, you can't spend that much time with someone or around someone and eventually not be on their team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be periods of time where you step out of their corner to look from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it bad.
I don't know how many times I stuck up for him to that team he was on. Because what they would do is they would all make their bets and stuff, and, and, like, they'd make these giant bets with him saying, oh, you can't go X amount of time without doing this or whatever. And he'd be like, whatever, guys, I'll prove you wrong. And they would just, like, berate him day in and day out, saying, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or they'd find some way to set it up and get him to do whatever he wasn't supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one of the bets was, like, you can't go this many days or this many months without missing a day. And, like, they basically set him up to fail constantly. And I'm like, did you guys ever think that maybe he acts out and acts the way he does and misses all these days and all this shit because you guys are fucking terrible to him? You guys never root for him. You just say you're not going to do it. You guys are just a constant source of negativity for him, and, like, that's why he acts out. That's why he acts the way he does.
Perfectly said.
And, like, I said that to them. I'm like, maybe if someone for once actually rooted him on, he would actually follow through with something instead of giving up. And I was always in his corner. So, like, makes me just wonder, like, who was in his corner?
Not very many people.
No. So, yeah. Thanks for joining, Alex. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. She says, Miranda just told me, holy shit, really sorry to hear about this.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So, we ready to move on?
I think so.
I mean, that's a good chunk dedicated to Richard, and I think we're gonna do some more to dedicate to him. And I think what I want to do is like a best of Richard episode to really showcase the character and person he was. Because like I said, we have upwards of 10 hours of just Richard being Richard. And I think that would be great to highlight who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And just, it's hilarious. He was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try to put that together, get that episode out. I don't think it'll be in video form because I don't really do the whole video editing thing. So, but keep a lookout for that. We're gonna try to get that put together. So yeah, he was definitely something fucking else, Alex. Yeah. So what do we got to talk about today?
Well, we talked about Game of Thrones and how mad I was at that, and then we got real sad. Got
to bring this up. We got to bring this up.
And then, I mean, what's on the horizon for us as far as
the podcast? Or
no, as just individually, like spring moving into summer.
I'm going to a really kick-ass concert tomorrow.
You are, and I'm unable to attend because I have a final to take.
Yeah. Yep. That's a bummer because I remember telling you about it, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going."
Yeah, I was immediately.
And then you were
committed.
like, "Fuck, it's Wednesday. I have class," and I'm like, "Dude, just skip that class."
It's the one fucking class that I can't skip.
Yeah.
Because I tried to get her to let me take it last week because I was going to try and score some last-minute tickets.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't let me take it a week ahead of time.
Damn.
So,
that sucks.
yeah, you're going to go to a kick-ass concert tomorrow night. I'm going to get my hair cut Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the immediate future for me. I won't look homeless anymore.
You have your beard back.
I do.
I said that at LaFiCon immediately upon seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You have your beard back." Not, "Hey, I missed you."
Hey, nice face hair.
But yeah, I was like, "You have your beard back." Good.
Yeah.
I texted you last week. Miss you, BB.
I'm gonna get it. I am gonna get the beard cleaned up a little bit because it is a little bit disheveled. But the mullet flow is disappearing as of Thursday.
Oh, thank God.
I thought you loved my mullet.
I mean, I love you having a mullet. It's a good source of entertainment.
So you want to know what made? Here's a positive. You want to know what made me decide to cut my hair?
Huh.
There is
The fact that I told you I have a temporary from Alabama with a legit mullet.
That's part of it. But
You're like, I can't compete with that.
Well, because I'm not like when I grow my hair out, like I'm total slug mode. I'm not committed to putting forth any effort whatsoever to like maintain it or. I mean, obviously I wash and condition my hair, but like I'm not gonna fucking shave the sides of my head and trim the front so I can have legit mullet.
You just can't compete with that 100% genuine Alabama heritage.
I cannot. But so I was at work the other day, and there's a certain person that I work not directly with, but I see regularly. They're not an IBEW member. They're one of the people that just work in the industry. And I loathe this guy. And I was studying him. So he was running off at the mouth, and I was just watching him, studying him, fueling my anger and hate. You know, the power of the dark side.
Yes.
And, like, I was looking at his hat. Because it's one of those gay Patagonia hats.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of those people. And I just happened to notice,
much like the Salt Life people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're just one of those.
Yeah. So I just happened to start to look away from his hat, and I noticed that his hair was sticking out of the side of his hat, just like this.
Huh.
And then I was like, "Wait a minute!" And he turned around, and we have the same amount of hair in the back, curling up out from underneath our hats and out of the sides. And I was like, no fucking way. I will not have hair like this, like that man, another day of my life. Because I loathe him that much.
Damn.
So I scheduled an appointment to get my hair cut. I drive downtown to Bernadette's. I park like 2 blocks away because it's in the evening. Normally I get my hair cut like on the weekend so I can go first thing. So I had to park like way away, and I fucking walk through the shitty weather that we've been having. And I walk in, and I've gotten my hair cut there now for 4 years. And like every time I grow my hair out, I get my hair cut so infrequently, there's a different person working the counter, or like the little podium, if you want to call it, the receptionist. And I walk in, and she just gave me a look like, dude, it's almost 6 o'clock. Why are you here? Well, my appointment was at 6. And I said, I'm here for an appointment. She goes, oh, you must be Jamie. Nope, definitely not Jamie.
I have both my hands.
Thank you. And she said, well, what's your name? And I told her my name, and I said I had an appointment at 6. And she's like, with who? So the girl that cuts my hair has a nickname in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
No one that goes there, or everyone that goes there except me, calls her by that nickname. I call her by her name because I'm not a degenerate, and I don't like to call people by that unless they say, "Hey, call me that," because I don't like my name. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I said my appointment's at 6 with Aaron, just the way that I scheduled it, and I pulled it up on my phone, and she pulled it up on the computer, and she's like, "Your appointment is for the 21st." Not today. And I said, well, if you will please refer to my digital device, it says the 21st at 6 p.m. with Aaron. So there's something wrong on your end because this doesn't control nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically told me to
You just said the 21st was on her end. What did she say then?
The 26th.
Okay.
She was saying the 26th.
Yeah.
I was saying the 21st.
You said 21st.
Yep.
We're
what I
all
meant.
clear. We're all clear.
She was trying to say that I made the hair appointment the night of Endgame. Not happening. I would not do that.
Yeah.
On my phone, it said the 21st at 6 p.m. with Aaron. And I was like, okay. I just went to say, like, please reschedule my appointment, and I will come back. And she basically told me to fuck off and leave.
Wow, that's a good business strategy.
And I was like...
Let's see if it plays out.
And I was like, I just kind of threw my hands up and went, whatever. And I started to walk out, and I turned around, and I said, and I stopped, and I said, you know what? Go ahead and cancel that fucking appointment, because I doubt I'll be back in this fucking place. And I left. And then the next day, I had to reschedule my appointment. But I didn't reschedule it with her, so if she's there when I get my haircut on Thursday, I'm going to be a dick. Like, I'm going to go out of my way to be a dick. Desk girl, here, please. This can seems to be empty. What?
This is Bernadette's, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't gone there.
It's great.
It's just
great.
the convenience of Great Clips.
I will not get my hair cut in Great Clips.
I'm about over it, the way they fucked my beard up last time.
That's why I don't go, my man. I was 14. The month, actually the week that I lost my virginity. I'm getting ready to leave and go on vacation.
Yes.
Spring break.
Yes.
I need a haircut. I need to look. What?
Russian girls.
Yes. I need to look fresh. I need to be on my A game. And I sit down in a chair at Great Clips. And I said the same thing that I have said for almost a decade. Now I get my haircut different, but I always got my haircut the same. 2 on the back and sides, scissors on top, not super short. I hear the clippers start. Okay, she's going to do the back and sides, like they always do.
What?
She buzzed my whole head, and I just sat there, and I was like, I will never come back, and I have never been back. So
I just started going there because one day I just happened to need a haircut.
You used to get your hair cut at Master Cuts,
yeah,
like me, right?
And they were just unavailable. I got so and that had happened to me like 3 or 4 times.
That's why I quit going there.
Yeah, they just became every time I tried to go the first time, they were like, "We're unavailable now, but you can schedule an appointment." And I'm like, I used to come here because I didn't have to schedule an appointment.
Yeah, I just walked in and waited 20 minutes and got my hair cut.
Yeah, but it'd always be like a 3-hour wait for me. And so I'm like, nah, fuck this. So I like one of those times I was just like, well, I need a haircut today, so I'm just gonna go to Great Clips. So I went to Great Clips, found out about their check-in thing, and I've just been doing that ever since. This last time they're like, hey, you have on your record you have beard care, beard trimming. Would you like us to trim up your beard? And I'm like, fuck it, it's looking a little raggedy. I decided I don't really want it like trimmed down. I just want it, barely cleaned up and evened out.
That's one thing that the first couple times that Aaron trimmed my beard, Aaron, like all the girls that work at Bernadette's, the 3rd Street, not the other location, but they all do beard care. But Aaron is the only one that does hot razor shaves. She's the only one trained and licensed to do it. That's why I started going there in the first place, because I could not find a barber, like a legit barber here in town that still did them. But I used to go every 2 weeks and get a haircut and get a hot razor shave before I grew the beard, because I couldn't have one where I worked.
Yeah.
And the first couple times when I grew the beard, Aaron trimmed it, like, it was almost the Great Clips experience, like taking it down super thin. Obviously, when people line them up and make everything symmetrical and, sharp angles that look nice, like I have a round face. All the sharp angles you can give me on the face zone are a positive, because it makes my face look square and not round.
Yeah.
But I like, there was a couple times that she spun me around and showed me, and I was like, ooh. So it took us a while to build that rapport of what I want out of a beard trimming.
My experience this last week was, she's like, she noticed my cheeks were uneven. I was like, yeah, go ahead and even them out. About a week goes by, and I just happen to look in the mirror, and I notice one side is like damn near at like I don't know what angle this would be, but that, and then the other side is like that.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck kind of evening out were you fucking doing?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? And like, I already have a hard enough time when I look at my beard. I don't know if it's just like the fact that I sit my head kind of cockeyed or sometimes. So when I just happen to notice something's uneven, so I'll try to even it out. And then on top of that, a lot of my hair underneath my chin grows like to my left, or maybe to my right, one of those ways. So that contributes to the unevenness of my beard.
Right. And
it makes it look like part of it's growing faster than the other, which it is. Some of it is. But again, it's just like the unevenness of the way it grows, and it's so stupid.
Part of that's a trick of your eye, but I mean, because you got to remember our faces aren't all symmetrical.
Yeah. But you can visibly tell it's growing in a direction.
Right.
So therefore, I have to constantly either brush it over in a different direction to make it look even, or I have to trim it down.
Yeah, the part, like, obviously not my neck beard, but the part under my chin, instead of growing one direction like yours, mine grows opposite directions. So if I don't grow this spot in super thick, it looks like I have a bald spot. It's not a bald spot. It's just the hair growing opposite directions. And it looks real fucking dumb. I
trimmed mine up last night to kind of hopefully rectify that a little bit for a short time, however long it takes to grow back and look stupid again. I wish I could just, train it to go a different way.
I just wish I could trim it myself well.
Oh, I'm pretty good at trimming it.
I am not.
It takes some practice, and I do buzzers. Like a lot of the beardsmen, the beardsmiths, if you will, they will tell you don't use buzzers because
like you're saying clippers?
Yeah, clippers. Don't when I hear clippers, I think scissors. So
I just think scissors when I think scissors.
I know, I get you. I feel you. Yeah, so because clip, yeah, get it?
You.
Yeah.
Snip, snip, snip.
Same concept.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. All right, go ahead.
We're done here.
Go ahead.
No, so the buzzer clippers, supposedly you could take too much off at once, and then you fuck up the whole thing.
Right.
And then you got to go down further, and it's a mess. I've been there. I've done that. I know.
We have all done that.
We have all done that. Those who have beards, who've been blessed with Viking blood. Or
Polish blood for you.
Yeah, Polish blood. Jew.
Jew. I have the blood of the Jew.
Jew. However, I've gotten pretty good at it, but a lot of people prefer, if you're going to trim your beard, trim with scissors. Because you can take little bits at a time, and you can just go from there.
It is a pain, though, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. I really want to get a good pair of like beard trimming scissors, but I just haven't.
I've got an extra pair. I'll give them to you.
Sweet. But yeah, I just got really good at sculpting my beard with buzzers, clippers.
Yeah, I do the standard because I like the square more than the round. Obviously, I already went over that.
Yeah.
So I literally just clip straight down on both sides of my face and then do my mustache line. Those are the only things that I'll do. Well, and I do this, obviously.
Yeah.
I actually bought one of those stupid template combs. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
Dude, it's great.
Oh, yeah?
It's great to do just your cheek line. It's incredible. You just barely pick it up and just go.
I could use that because, like I
it's
said,
nice.
sometimes it ends up uneven.
Well, and it's nice, too. I mean, it's a pain to stand in the mirror and hold it, then get the other clipper, But once you get it at the angle you want, you just literally just hold it there for a second, and it's done. And the nice thing about that is if you do go a little bit awry, you can just literally just go a little bit farther down and just clean it right up. It's not going to make you look like an idiot if you just lower your cheek line just a little bit more. So
Yeah. This is actually probably one of the longest periods I've gone with a full beard as opposed to doing something stupid. I trimmed most of it and I just had a goatee for a while, for like about a month, and then I grew it all back. But like I'm at this point where like I can't decide because I'm starting it's all the unevenness and the directions and all that of my hair is just it's really starting to get to me and annoy me. So I'm like, part of me's like, do I want to do the Admiral again? The mutton chops? Or the mutton stash? Do I want to do that again? Do I just want to shave the whole fucking thing off and start over again? I don't know. I'm trying to hold off. I'm trying to stay strong and just keep growing the beard.
I think you should do like
I want a fucking Viking beard.
The Spanish naval commander, like really, really thin. Just all the way. Just like pencil thin.
I have tried to pencil it before.
It's tough.
I watched Nick Torres did it once because for I think summer shutdown we all decided to do like ridiculous facial hair. Like my buddy Alan Dawson and I, we went for like the more either white trash or America looks.
Hell yeah.
And we
heritage,
all
if you will.
really went for our heritage because Nick, he's not actually Mexican.
Is he Puerto Rican?
He's Spanish.
Okay.
He is straight Spanish, not Mexican Spanish. A lot of like Spaniard heritage.
Okay.
Because his dad's side is from Spain, and his mom's side's American.
Heritage.
Or maybe it's the other way around. I can't remember. Either way. So when he came, we all went to B-dubs like for like last day, and I come in, fucking straight up, mutton stash, friendly chops as you will, the Admiral, the Sir, the Gentleman. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Just the chin missing, just the chin.
I think you should
The
just
Van
do a soul
Buren.
patch. Yes. You should do just a soul patch.
Oh God, I'm not Joe.
Just for one day.
Ugh. So I come in there with that. Alan comes in with the fucking Ricky from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
And he pulled it off. He fucking pulled it off. It
Hell
was
yeah.
awesome. I believe there's a picture of all of us. And here comes Nick with his straight up penciled in stash. He looks like the goddamn Godfather.
Mm-hmm. I'm digging it.
It was awesome. It was really cool. Like it was like one of the few times I respected him. Shout out Nick Torres. Yeah. So like I'm trying to hold strong because I've been really trying to only trim like once a month, but then I'll notice the unevenness and I'll just trim it down, and it ends up looking too clean.
I just don't like the stragglers. Like
Yeah,
when
same.
you've got one hair, like you've got a little patch of hair that are all like an inch longer than the rest, and you brush it so it blends in, and then you like 15 minutes later it's like eek.
What I really hate is my mustache. I'll have like one or two random hairs that just all of a sudden pop up.
Mine are. I hate it when you get the edge,
Oh, I got that right now.
And it's in your mouth. Like, God damn it.
Then you try to trim them down, and then the spot between your mustache and your beard, where it all connects and makes it look amazing. Then it starts thinning out, and you look like a douche.
Yep. That's why I let Erin do it now. She doesn't fuck it up. Because I fuck it up every time. Every time, especially, I try and trim up the corner of my mouth. Every time I fuck it up. And, like, I like my soul patch to be very wide at the top.
Yep.
And then very narrow as it meets. Like, that's the little bit of manicuring that I really like to do with that. Because otherwise I just let it go and just ignore it.
Yeah.
Pretend it's not even there.
I very rarely touch the soul patch.
Yeah. See, you've got the strip where it's wide all the way down. I like to have it wide and narrow.
I'm just trying to go for a straight up full fucking Viking beard.
Are you gonna
very
braid it?
unsuccessful?
Are you gonna braid it?
Nah, probably not. That's effort. 30%er.
You don't have to do it though. Miranda can braid it for you.
Ooh. If I could get it long enough, yeah, I would.
It really doesn't have to be that long. It just has to be long in places. So.
Or I could just, summon the power of thunder and just
Like somebody else did not.
He did, and his beard got braided.
It did.
And that was it.
And then he was useless.
It suited him up, and it braided his beard. That is all.
He's just Odin now. He's not even Thor. He's Odin now.
Which is what he is in the comics.
Right.
I mean, the Odin Force turned into the Thor Force. I really like in the comics the Old Man Thor, or I guess
Odin.
Yeah.
However you want to say it.
God of Thunder Thor.
Yes. I just want characters that I like to be relevant.
They will be.
I don't like it when characters that I like are not relevant. Because that's the reason I like those characters to begin with, because they're relevant.
I feel like we can... Miranda said, okay, Thor. Yeah, that's the point. I feel like we can venture into spoiler territory for Endgame.
Anyone that's listening right now, we are possibly going to inadvertently or on purpose utter Endgame spoiler stuff. So at any given time, we will warn you, but be prepared because we're probably going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And
which we've already gone full spoiler on Journey into Comics this week. Dropped
thank you.
Yesterday.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. This is a spoiler. I fucking hated Thor in Endgame. I hated fucking Lebowski Thor.
He had a couple moments of comic relief that were good, and then there was a lot of bad.
That's not what I want that character to be, though.
I know, man.
He's not comic relief.
I feel
He's
you.
your heavy hitter.
I feel you. But he's been comic relief for a while.
For one movie.
Okay, so I'm not even going to say he was, for this movie, he was comic relief. For the others, he was comedy, not comic relief. He was the funny, but he was also a main character that could fucking drive
Would
it.
you say that he was the comedy in Infinity War?
Here and there, yeah.
Occasionally, yes. I will agree with
However, he was the tragic character. He was the I need revenge character.
I need vengeance. He never got vengeance.
Not really, no.
And that pissed me off.
Because despite getting, technically he did get vengeance.
But no satisfaction. He did not avenge anyone.
No, he did not.
He cut Thanos' head off and then sulked for 5 years.
He got his revenge for his failure, but his revenge meant nothing.
Yeah.
So therefore, it was just hollow.
He accomplished nothing. And then he had the two of the most powerful fucking items in all of Marvel comic history. And he did nothing against a spinny sword.
Yeah. Those two things, Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, got severely nerfed for no reason.
I'm like Veronica and Sarah and I were talking day one of LaFiCon. After we had wrapped it up, everyone was taken off. You had already left. And we were just talking to, like, how Sarah and I have a lot of the same perspective on almost everything. Just how abrasive we are and, like,
Yeah. I love Sarah, but she's got a mean streak.
low tolerance for bullshit.
Yeah.
And, you know, just
Something
in general.
pisses her off, she is pissed the
Yes.
fuck off.
Yep. So Sarah and I are very similar.
Once she triggers, she is exploded.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Veronica asked me a question, and I don't even remember what I said or what the question was. But my response was supposed to be, I just hate everything. My response was, I hate. I forgot to say the rest of the sentence. So
I hate.
that's kind of my thing now. I just hate. But, like, so on Journey into Comics, the spoiler-free and the spoiler-rific, I'll say, the spoiler-tastic, the spoiler-filled.
I really thought it was funny when all the vendors that were nearby and they heard we're about to go into Endgame spoilers, they literally moved from opposite ends of the room.
Yeah, they went and stood by the door.
They went and stood by the door, which is way away. They're like, "Fuck this, can't do it." Which kind of sucked because I think Nate was like, "Let's kind of keep our voices down," you know. I mean, still at audible level for the microphones.
AP yells.
AP doesn't yell; he just talks, and his voice just carries.
Mm-hmm.
So like, people that could hear can't hear us, but they just hear out of context AP.
But, like, the first half of Endgame, I was so, like, just unhappy with it. And it's not because it's not because it was emotional. It's not because the story was written poorly. It's just certain things. Lebowski Thor, fucking dabbing Hulk. When Hulk dabbed in that movie, I almost got up and left. And I legitimately almost left. That is one of the...
I've been telling people that.
Hold on. That is one of the, in my opinion, almost one of the worst representations of a character in any fiction ever. And I will not let it go.
Okay, so
You've been telling people.
I'm gonna say this, and I've been telling people this, that you said that you almost legitimately got up and left. You've been saying that publicly and to me and to other people. I've been telling people that, like, because for whatever reason, like, everyone always asks me, like, well, what did Tyler think of this? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I haven't been around him. But luckily, I could answer this time. I'd be like, yeah, he liked the movie, but there was a point in the movie where he says he about got up and left, and then I follow that with, like, but I really can't in my heart believe you would have legitimately got up and left. So, but before I actually say that to you, which I just did, if you got up and left, say you were so fucking furious that you got up and left, which I don't see you actually doing.
I was close.
I feel like
really
I feel
close.
like you're like, no, I have to stay, see this through. Say you did get up and leave. You're pissed. Would you have gone back to see it through?
I would have tried to watch it all the way through.
Because this is the end game. We've come too far for you to just fucking get pissed off and be like, no.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more to that movie. Like,
Well,
you had a whole 3 hours.
So, like, just I'm gonna just loop an hour and a half of this movie into the first act, because to me that's kind of how it shakes out in my head. The first act is really long, the second act is short, and then the third act ties everything up in a bow and finishes it. You know, you have that hard open, which you and I loved so much.
Fuck.
It was incredible.
Talk about really setting the fucking tone and setting you up.
And not only that, so that puts you at the lowest of the lows. And then you see almost immediately fucking Scott Lang just boop. Oh no. And then it just crushes you.
Yeah.
So I am emotionally charged at that point. And then, Scott rejoins the crew. He's got wonky ideas. Tony wants no part of it. And I'm like, okay, they're going to get this shit figured out because I knew what they were going to say. We'll get Banner. Banner will help us. And I totally expected to see Banner. I see Professor Hulk. Okay. Weird flex, but okay. Let's see what happens here. And you get this frat boyish, egotistical, like just totally nonchalant, airheaded version of one of the most unique and important characters in all of comics, and he dabs.
Yeah.
That's why I almost got up and left.
Let me say this. You got to think about it. Think of how egotistical he was in Ragnarok. He was a fucking superstar in that arena.
Okay.
Hulk has an ego. Especially now.
That is, Professor Hulk is supposed to be all of Hulk's strengths with Banner's intelligence.
But in this particular version of that, it's just a combination of two.
I get it.
You get Hulk's.
I get what it is.
You get Hulk's ego, like huge.
That doesn't mean it's good.
But it is what it is.
But it's not good.
It is what it is, though.
It is what it is.
You gotta take.
But it's not good.
If you're gonna combine the two, that ego is gonna be somewhere, and that clearly.
Unless Banner's intelligence overpowers the ego.
Yeah.
What we got popping in the comments? We got
a lot.
Comments.
Brandon said it. He said, it's a lot. It's one of Brandon and a lot of my wife Miranda.
So let's get to Brandon first because it was first.
And the longest. It was Thor's want for revenge that caused the snap. He wanted, all caps, Thanos to know he beat him before he finishes him. It was his fault. It's something villains typically do. Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Then the hero prevails at the last second. The hero there was Thanos. Thor blamed himself, and then there was no winning. He sulked. Miranda goes on. It was showing his personality after 5 years of losing loved ones. It wasn't supposed to be the Hulk we know. They were showing us how the snap affected everyone. His character was different, so was Hawkeye's. It all affected them differently. Hawkeye, yeah,
that's fair. He wasn't any different. He was still the same character.
Yeah, Hawkeye was still the same, just pissed. Yeah.
Natasha was still the same character.
Just frazzled.
She's been foreshadowing that she loves the team and that she has a family now, pretty much since she showed up in Iron Man. So that's irrelevant. Scott Lang was the same character. Vision wasn't there.
Scott Lang hadn't been there to change though.
But it did change him.
It didn't change him. He just came into a world that he didn't know.
So when he comes out of the quantum realm, he's fucked up.
Not because of the quantum realm. Because to him it was 5 hours.
Okay. What do you think your mind is going to do in a place that you can't escape where no one else is for 5 hours? You are going to be thinking about your children being left behind. You being dead. Everyone you care about being gone. You will never get out. He's fucked up.
After 5 hours, I don't think that's... maybe after a couple days. It's like 5 hours, I don't think your mind wanders that far.
Well, I don't necessarily...
that's my perspective. I don't think it goes to that level.
Under normal circumstances. But being trapped in a place that no one else can get to except you is unprecedented. So, I think it's a little bit different circumstances.
It could be, yeah.
But I get Lebowski Thor. I get it. What I will not accept, and you cannot justify to me, is two of the most powerful weapons in that universe.
No, I completely agree.
Are irrelevant against a spinny sword. That I will not let go. Let me add a little bit more to that. Irrelevant against a spinny sword and the lack of the most powerful weapon in that universe, the Infinity Gauntlet. He does not have it. Nate Phillips' point. Is he pissed off? Yes.
Yeah.
Did he just lose to them? Yes. That does not give you superpowers.
No, but he is very skilled in the art of combat.
He is. Spinny sword, Stormbreaker. Electrocute him from the sky and then cut him in half.
Yeah.
Done.
Thor's also out of shape.
He can still...
I don't know.
He can still fucking call down thunder.
For narrative purposes, you know.
I get it.
It is what it is.
I get it. I get it. But don't focus on it.
No, I completely agree. Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, incredibly nerfed. Incredibly underwhelming,
Yeah.
underpowered. Pissed me off. It pissed me off too.
I get it. Thor was slow. Thanos is not slow. He's big, but he's not slow.
Thor was visibly slow.
He was slow. I get it. Electrocute him. Slow him down. There's 3 of you. One really fast guy, another really fast and strong guy, and Electro Man. Do it. Spinny sword. Oh no!
I mean, that's the spinning sword fucked up Captain Shield,
Yeah, it cut
which
right
makes
through
sense.
it.
That's okay. That's okay. Vibranium might be strongest material on Earth, not the strongest material in the universe.
Adamantium. But let's...
Well, this universe did not have the rights to adamantium
I know.
yet.
It does now, though.
Vibranium, which I can't remember. Was vibranium a thing in the comics, or was that
Yes.
something made up for? Okay.
No. His shield was always made out of vibranium.
Okay.
Yep.
Then why'd you say adamantium?
Because people always say, like, in this,
Okay.
people always say that the vibranium's the strongest. Well, no. It's on par with adamantium.
Yeah.
I mean, adamantium just doesn't have the vibration. That's why it's vibranium.
Vibranium.
Yeah, we got through that together.
I'm glad
We did it.
we did it.
Yeah, it's just, and the people that I've had this conversation with focus on the negative points that I talk about because I think the negatives are important enough to highlight because no one else is highlighting them. I am that unpopular opinion guy, and I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Was Hawkeye's role in this movie incredible? Yes.
See,
He's one of the MVPs.
your gripes with this movie, your major gripes, are just my minor gripes, which I have no major gripes.
Yeah. It means my major
it has,
gripes
it has a different meaning to you.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah, like you definitely put a different level of importance with it. Yeah. Me, I saw it as just plot devices. It's part of the plot.
Yeah, and that's
You
fine.
know?
But the point that I'm trying to make is I'm going to talk about them. Was this movie incredible? Absolutely. Was the first half of the movie very good? In my opinion, no. Is time travel a good plot device? No. Time travel is an excuse for poor storytelling. Historically,
Can be, yes.
Historically, in fiction, time travel is a cop-out.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying that is what it is in this film? No. Maybe a little bit, but no.
See, to me, the time travel aspect added a fun sense of adventure.
Right.
And hold on.
You didn't have to tell me to hold on. I was waiting.
I know.
You don't have to be mean.
I kind of said it on JIC, but like it eventually there was just so much nerd energy in that little space that like I could not get anything I said was immediately drowned out.
Well, I looked at you at one point.
I know,
and I
because
said,
I was trying to say something.
Get in there.
And I was like, no. And then my chance completely passed.
I can't.
I can't even remember what I was trying to say.
I don't remember either.
But yeah. I'm pretty sure I did actually get this out in JAC, but I want to reiterate, this movie felt the most like a comic book or series of comic books than any other movie in the series to me.
I would agree with
because it had the zany, fun adventure it just felt like a fucking comic book. It felt straight out of comic books, and I loved it. I loved that fact.
Yeah. Do I think this movie is better than Infinity War? No, I don't.
I do.
From specifically a movie standpoint, do I think it's better than Infinity War? No, I don't think the writing was as good. Were there more like big fanfare moments? Absolutely. Were there more moments that were intended to bring you to your knees? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall as a complete and quality movie, Endgame was not better than Infinity War. On par, yes, but not better than.
I can definitely at least agree with on par.
Yeah.
Infinity War, it made you really root for the villain.
Oh yeah, that was Thanos' movie for sure.
And then we get the Empire Strikes Back ending where the heroes are basically they lose, they're on the run, they're fucked. This Endgame, it's the heroes movie. They actually make Thanos a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because you're getting 2014 Thanos. It's a different Thanos. He is fresh off of losing to the Avengers.
Yeah, he took an L.
And on top of that, he's just vicious. He's the Thanos we know from the comics. Because
other than his obsession with death, which they give.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. He changes it. His goal now, after he finds out that he already wins, he decides, you know what? Fuck this. That's my destiny. I know I'm gonna win, but this time, since I've seen everything now, I'm just gonna kill everyone. And that is the Thanos we know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still wants to create. He still wants the universe to thrive. But this time he's like, I see now a plot hole in my plan. So here's what I'm gonna do now.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, never got touched on in our conversation, the Nebula angle. I did not see that coming at all. Nebula.
I didn't either. I really dug it.
Nebula, like the two nebulas at once. I don't know how it was. It's like there's something to do with like a server or something like within their head.
Yeah, like her neural net.
Her neural net somehow connected with the others.
Because they're both existing at the same time.
Yeah, like some sort of wireless connection.
The Wi-Fi fucking be good.
They airdropped. They fucking Apple airdropped to each other.
Screen shared that shit.
NFC shit.
Fucking Nebula's got a Chromecast in her head.
But that I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. I thought that is one of the few moments in the story that that I think you have to praise as being totally unique, totally original.
And that's where the time travel really gets good.
Yes. That is when the time travel gets good, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm a little bit biased because I fucking hate time travel. I think it's dumb. It's been done for decades. I don't want to see time travel movies. I get it. The comedy centered around the time travel was fantastic. Hearing fucking Rhodey and Ant-Man fucking be like, wait a minute, Back to the Future this shit? That's not how it works. Like, that whole scene was incredible.
Yeah. We have a lot of incredible scenes from the time travel. Mm-hmm. We got scenes that we normally wouldn't get, like Tony and Howard.
Yeah, that was great.
We get
Captain America getting the shit kicked out of him by Captain America.
Which was okay. That was okay. I wouldn't say that was one of the more hard hitting moments.
Well, but I think it is because, and I said it during our little powwow. You see past Cap just kick the fuck out of future Cap.
Yeah,
and it makes sense. Cap has been beaten. He's been broken. He's been embarrassed.
Yeah,
and he's lost everything.
I can keep going all day. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like it's perfect. It's perfect.
We get Thor and Frigg.
Yeah, that was tough for me.
Yeah, that again, another incredible moment.
Especially because, that scene with Banner and the Ancient One, I really appreciated that. And then you get almost the same exact scene with Thor and Frigg because she knows.
Yeah.
The moment she sees him, she knows everything. You know, she can see into the future too.
Mhm.
She knows. She knows that she's gonna die that day. She just accepts it.
Yeah. And
She
she's
has
like,
to.
you don't need to change anything for me. Just go on your own path.
Change yourself.
Yeah.
Do it.
So all those time travel scenes gave us something. They gave us moments that we normally wouldn't have.
The Vormir one was tough. I've seen a lot of people complain about that here
I have
the
no
last
complaints
couple
about
days.
that.
Well, just because I think people didn't understand that to get the Soul Stone, there's one way to do it.
Yeah.
That's you got to pay the price. You got to pay the fucking troll. You got to pay the troll toll, essentially. Like, you want this? Get trolled.
Obviously, they weren't going to do it, but what if they sent Cap there with somebody and he saw Red Skull? Because there was all these reunions. Tony and Howard. You got... Yeah, so you got Tony...
Cap and Peggy.
Cap and Peggy. You had Thor and Frigg.
Nebula and her fam.
Yeah.
The family. The fam-damly, as some people say.
But
Just kill me, please.
But with Nat and
Hawkeye.
his real name, Clint.
Clint
Nat-
Barton.
Nat and Clint, you don't get any reunion with anybody.
You
It's
just get lost.
you just see this guy that they don't know because he supposedly died in the 1940s, and then you get them fighting over who gets to die.
I think now that we've seen the Red Skull again, I think it sets up, an easy way to bring him back in the future.
Speaking of that, Loki.
They just set up the TV show.
Yeah,
all
they
it
did.
you know,
They
and
did.
that's cool.
Because I thought, so for a second I was like, oh shit, he managed to get out of it. He changed things, and now but then I was like, oh wait, but they went back in time further and got the thing, so he didn't get a chance to get it. But then I'm like, wait, Cap has to take it back to that time, so then he still gets it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he created a parallel universe is all he did.
Mm-hmm.
As the Ancient One describes. That'll be the TV show. That'll be cool. I accepted Tom Hiddleston's death in Infinity War when it happened.
Me too.
I like the character.
Other people haven't.
And that's fine.
Looking at you, Miranda.
I appreciate the character. The character was there solely so Thor could have more character development. I'm sorry. That's the only reason Loki was around. To be a throwaway villain.
He's not a throwaway villain, though.
He's a throwaway villain in the original Avengers movie.
He's in the original Avengers movie, but throughout the entire series,
he's only in one movie that matters.
He's a villain that they make you care about because he was lied to his entire life.
Yeah, well, he was lied to as a child.
Yeah.
So, he's pretty much over the fact that he's a fucking frost giant.
Oh yeah, he's one of those characters that just teeters back and forth between.
He's not a villain. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, he teeters between villain and anti-hero.
Yeah.
So therefore you kind of root for him at times.
Yeah, you gotta root for him.
Yeah.
But he's gone. He's dead.
He's gone.
He's gone. He dead.
As I refer to, he is fucking dead.
He's fucking dead. He's gone. Not coming back.
They're like Miranda's like, they've got to find a way to bring him back. They got to find a way. I'm like,
Thor's not going to bring him back.
And then there's all the whole Infinity Stone and reversing that, or Soul Stone and reversing the snap and all that. It's like, so he'll come back. It's like, no, he died before that. He's fucking dead.
He's dead. He's gone.
Black Widow, she's fucking dead.
She's gone.
Gamora, 2018 Gamora, she's fucking dead.
She gone. She done.
She done.
Dunzo. Capital D Dunzo.
Mm-hmm.
Capital G Gonzo. She's fucking left the building, folks.
Yeah. And not the way we wanted her to die. We wanted her We wanted her death to mean the return of Hulk. In both movies.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get that. However, Hulk was pissed. Professor Hulk was pissed.
But he wasn't pissed enough.
No.
Because so the scene with him and the gauntlet and the snap, I really appreciated that. Because it was all of the ego gone. It was Banner in control and not Hulk. Hulk just taking the damage and Banner being in control. That's how Professor Hulk's supposed to work. Logic and reasoning and brain.
Yeah.
He couldn't bring her back, and he tried. And the final battle, we get Hulk running, and then we don't see him again. Pretty upset about that. That's part of the reason I'm pissed. You got one of your heavy hitters who is slightly damaged. That's fine. He's got more than one hand, and the fucker hits hard.
Yeah.
So, let me see Hulk smashing some minions. Didn't see it. But yeah.
So I guess Howard the Duck was in that scene?
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet, but wow.
Yeah. I don't even remember seeing the Ravagers at all.
Me either.
So
I need to go back to that message in our group chat and like find whatever they're talking.
he's clearly in the bottom right-hand corner,
Yeah.
running with a gun.
I haven't seen that. I was at work and no signal, so
So yeah, that the Hulk snap was really powerful for me. And I totally expected other people to put on the gauntlet. So I definitely didn't think that Barton was going to put the gauntlet on. But when you see Black Panther grab the gauntlet, I thought that fucker was putting it on. When Spidey grabs it, he's not going to put it on. But when Captain Marvel put the gauntlet on, I thought, well, fuck, this is over. You know? She might not even use it, but she's got it.
yeah.
You know? Start fucking murking people.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. You know? Put it on so no one can take it away from you. No, there is no one there that's going to take it away from you. I get it. Plot. Some stuff's just dumb. And you gotta accept it for being dumb. So, Giant Man was cool.
Mm-hmm. Extra large Giant Man.
I really liked seeing Wasp as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a big Evangeline Lilly fan, so
I enjoyed seeing Valkyrie on her Pegasus.
oh yeah,
That was cool. We never got that.
fucking spear,
Yeah.
just slicing and dicing.
I enjoyed seeing Korg in the short time we saw Korg.
Wasn't he carrying Meek?
Yeah,
He just had Meek.
but he was also dressed up as Taika Waititi.
Yes.
like how he normally would dress.
I want to see more Meek.
Meek just fucking triple, quadruple fisting pizza because he's got multiple fucking arms.
Yep.
I will say this: I wanted to see an after credit scene, not a serious one that connects anything, but just like you're at some, it's just poof, camera starts right in front of a house.
Kid's bedroom.
Yeah, kids fucking and all. You just see like a thunder crash through the house, and camera pans into the fucking kid's room, and it's this kid talking shit playing video games, and here's Thor there to scare the shit out of Fat Thor. Still Fat Thor. And it's like we get that moment of like he went to that kid's house.
Yeah, I would have appreciated that.
And that's the stupid after credit scene we get. That's the only bullshit we get.
That was funny. I mean, that scene was funny.
Yeah.
When
Korg couldn't talk shit, so he had Thor do it. Which I've done that. I've had people do that before. I'll play the game while someone talks shit for me. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, what else did I really dig? So it's not all negative. Seeing Cap with fucking Mjolnir was real cool.
Yeah.
Was real cool. Watching him fight Thanos with Mjolnir was real cool. Didn't mean anything, but it was really cool. Yeah. Seeing everybody come back the way that they did, you know, with Sam opening with "On Your Left," you know, that
As soon as I heard that, I'm like,
that felt good.
it felt real good.
I would have liked to see a little bit more Winter Soldier besides one scene of him and Rocket shooting.
Yeah, which we didn't even get really the tag team partnership that they had in Infinity War.
Mm-mm. I mean, you got that fucking metal arm. You don't just have to shoot people. Like, you're gonna fuck some people up. So, I don't know. I don't misunderstand me. I obviously loved Endgame.
Yes.
The first half of the movie, because I care about this. I had an expectation going into Endgame from the spoiler-free reviews that I had read that it was perfect in every way, and that in my mind, Marvel had found a way to replace Star Wars as my number one. And they did not do that to me.
See, the problem I had was like the first 20 minutes so we get a hard open, Marvel opening, and then right into it, and then they're defeated. We get the Tony scene, we get the back to Avengers headquarters scene, and then we get the plotting scene, which leads to the Thanos scene. That's all within like 20-30 minutes. Like that's real quick, all of it. And up until the 5 years later scene or intro, it just all seemed like really hollow.
Oh, and it was extremely rushed. It
was rushed and hollow, and I'm like, man, the pacing on this is weird, and it just seems hollow. Like I'm feeling nothing from this. I feel absolutely nothing from
now,
this.
I will say the one kind of saving grace of that sequence of scenes is when they focus on Thanos in the garden. You know, he's fucking just beaten, fucking wrecked. Watching him limp and the way that he's scarred and fucker can't even make soup. Like, yes. That is storytelling without an ounce of dialogue. You knew what that fucker did. See, because in the trailers, when they say he used the stones again, okay, in my mind, did he try and bring Gamora back? Possibly. Did he change reality?
To be honest, like I didn't even think about that line.
Did he fall and go back in time? Like, did he fall to his death and fucking reverse time? I don't know. But it made sense. And then it's, use the stones to destroy the stones.
Which I liked. I liked that he did.
I liked that.
But again, that entire scene just felt hollow. Even Thor, like fucking decapitating him, felt hollow.
Yeah.
Like him chopping off the arm, or chopping off the gauntlet, like felt hollow. Every aspect of that just felt hollow, and no feeling made me feel nothing. And I didn't want to. None of this movie, I wanted to feel nothing. I went into this movie knowing I was going to feel things, and I felt nothing there, especially after the hard opening.
You know, one of the things that Skylar and I were talking about the other day, because Ruby was watching the new Mary Poppins movie, and it was after we had watched Endgame, so obviously it's fresh. I'm thinking about it. There are scenes in Endgame that are supposed to mean things, or like mean something to you, that did not mean more than Yondu saying, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. He was your father, but he wasn't your daddy." You know? Like, Yondu hit it more than a lot of the big heavy hitter scenes in Endgame. So, I think it was great. I think it was fantastic. The first half is rough. For me, as a person, if you give a shit about it, it might feel the same for you. Yeah.
I think where this movie really shines, on top of like the incredible third act, where this movie really shines is all the little things, all the fan service they did, all the little tiny things that they added in there, like the battle, like post battle in New York, where you just don't even think about it. Like, oh, here's Hydra Shield coming in, to take the scepter. And all that, like, you don't think about that shit. Like, where did the scepter go?
Well, it makes sense. Like,
Who
it
did they
ties
meet
up
up
a lot
with?
of loose ends too, because
Yeah.
at the beginning of at the beginning of Age of Ultron, it's like, okay, why does this Hydra dude have Loki's scepter?
Yeah. But then it's like, if you watch Winter Soldier, you go,
Right.
oh, yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra.
Right. So, but I never, like, obviously, you see the line drawn in the sand there. It's like, okay, they were Hydra. That's how they had the scepter. But in Age of Ultron, it's just like, I remember watching that and being like, okay, S.H.I.E.L.D. was Hydra, but, like, they haven't taken care of this yet? Like, why's this motherfucker got the scepter? So, they closed a lot of doors on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, just some of them they slammed instead of closing, and it was bad.
So the way I felt about Infinity War, I loved it. I saw it twice in theaters. Loved it immensely both times.
Mhm.
As soon as it comes out on Blu-ray and I watch it at home, not the same.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
See, that's how I was with Last Jedi.
I still loved it. Don't get me wrong. But, like, every time I've watched Infinity War at home, I just don't have the same love for it that I had in the theaters. And I don't, and I'm not attributing that to the environment and setting that I was in, like the experience of the theater. I'm not attributing it that. I'm just like, okay, I've seen it, whatever. That's how I'm feeling. I want to know how Endgame translates.
As far as Phase 4? Or no. You mean from theater to home?
From theater to home, in terms of, like, I've seen this already. Where there are a lot of movies where, like, I can't fucking wait till it's out so I can watch this at home again and again and again.
Right.
Like, when I watched Infinity War again, I was like, cool.
It's just a really good movie. Let me rephrase that. It's just a really solid movie.
Yeah.
Because I remember, when you and I left Infinity War, because I saw it once with you and I saw it once with Brandon.
I saw it once with you and once with Miranda.
When Brandon and I left the theater, we talked about a lot. When you and I left the theater, we both had the same reaction. We want to talk about things, but we need to process what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
And I have not seen Endgame again since I saw it on Friday.
Yeah, same.
I don't know that I'm going to.
I really want to see it again. Just because I want
initially
I want to digest all those little things that I didn't get to see the first time.
Well, and initially I told Skylar when we were leaving the theater, I can't wait to see this movie again. But now that I've thought about a lot of the stuff and I've analyzed and, I've had 3 different conversations with people about it over an hour pretty much, I don't know that I need to.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get this much discussion between viewings of Infinity War. I LaFiCon all weekend. We talked about it. I come into work yesterday, talked about yesterday was really fucked up because I not only had an Endgame to talk about, I had Game of Thrones to talk about. And there are people there that I could talk both with. There are people there that I can only talk one with.
Right.
So that kind of did help it out because, like, okay, I could get my Game of Thrones fix over here and I get my Endgame. Like, I could get both over here, but I'm going to go with Endgame over here. With Brandon, I got a good mixture of both.
I want to sit down and talk Endgame with Brandon when I get the chance or when he's available.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's busy, much like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I'll see it again before it's out of theaters. I mean, and then I'll watch it again when it comes,
Well, my big thing with Infinity War was, like, I didn't even dive into the movie again. I just went straight into the special features.
Really?
All the extras. I watched every bit of it because I wanted to dive into that movie. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one.
Yeah.
All the deleted scenes, bloopers, behind the scenes.
Yeah, I really look forward to seeing what they cut from the film. Because I will say this, if they added 30 to 45 minutes more of runtime, I would have sat in the theater and watched it. No problem.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that maybe if they had 30 minutes, let's just go on the low end, if they had 20 to 30 more minutes of runtime, they might have been able to do some stuff to make that first act, at least that first 20 minutes, not feel so hollow for people like us. And for people like me, maybe give a little bit more substance to that first act instead of... Part of the reason I hate the Hulk scene in the diner so much is it totally felt unnatural. It felt forced. They were trying to make you laugh. Comedians do not try and make you laugh. They make you laugh.
They don't try. They just do.
They just do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it was for your theater anyway, but my
theater, I was the loudest person in the theater.
Okay, my theater was very vocal, very involved. We clapped as a theater. There was
none of that.
There was more than once that we stood up and clapped, like the theater stood up, standing ovation style. During the Hulk diner scene, there was about 2 people in the theater that laughed. So it evidently wasn't very funny.
I mean, we had some laughs. I really don't remember much in terms of the audience because, like I said, my audience was very just focused on the movie. They didn't. If they were reacting, they were reacting internally. I was the loudest person there. I was the one like leaning over to Miranda, go, "Oh fuck yeah!" And then I'm like, hey, "This is about to happen. I think this is about to happen." Like, oh shit. Okay, this means this. Like I was that asshole in the theater, like just talking to my wife, like and just going.
I didn't
fuck yeah.
I didn't even whisper. There was more than once in the theater, where I just like, oh no.
Yeah, there
or fucking oh shit.
Oh yeah, same. Like there was a couple exclamations like, oh fuck. You'd hear me in the theater. Oh fuck.
There is one character specifically and their level of involvement or lack of involvement, if you will, that I think you and I both agree on and appreciate. It's how little Captain Marvel was in the movie. And it's not because we dislike the character. It's not because we dislike Brie Larson, which I kind of dislike Brie Larson.
I like Brie Larson.
She's better than Olivia Munn, but not by much.
A lot better, I think.
No. She has the scope. Her range is about the same range as that boom mic stand. She can do about 2 things, and that's okay. Some actors are that way. I'm not shitting on Brie Larson. I just don't really care for her.
Captain Marvel saw the big picture in this movie, and that was there are billions of planets out there, and not all of them have you.
And she's the only one
straight up
that
said
can be everywhere. Really?
Yeah, she can go to those planets. She can help them out. That she sees the bigger picture. She's like, you guys have your own journey. If you need me, hey,
I'll help if I can.
But hey, I gotta head out to this shit because
stuff. So her lack of involvement throughout the film, I totally appreciated that. The things that were forced in the movie, I think you and I agree on. And if she would have been more involved, it would have felt even more forced.
Yeah. And
unnecessary. Because
I'm really glad that she went toe-to-toe with Thanos and just didn't completely overwhelm him.
She should have.
She should have, but, I'm glad she didn't because that added an extra level of, wow, Thanos is really this strong.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I was fearing was she was going to come into this movie, and we all know how much of a fucking powerhouse she is. She is the nuclear weapon. She is the football. It's like... and once again, her superpower, her ultimate main move superpower is, I'm going to destroy this giant-ass ship. She does it.
Just by flying through it.
Her main attack is destroy giant ship. We get that.
That's totally cool.
But I don't want her being the end-all, be-all deterrent. I want her to serve her purpose. Cool. Giant ship destroyed. Fight Thanos. I don't want her to fucking wreck Thanos.
I did really appreciate
I want there to be struggle.
I did really appreciate the pack-a-punch headbutt, though. like Thanos pack-a-punched himself with the Infinity Gauntlet, like having all the power-ups on fucking Nazi zombies Call of Duty, and just fucking headbutts her, and she doesn't move at all. She just takes it and fucking looks at him like, is that all you got? The one thing that I don't like about that scene is she's trying to take the gauntlet away from him, and she rears back to punch him and just stays like this. And that gives, like, I'm going to punch you if you don't let go. Like, don't give him the chance. Kill him.
I don't remember that, but
If you watch where they're tussling and he takes the Power Stone out and then punches her,
I like that.
I really enjoy that too. But
That's not even a move you think of.
he only punched her because she did this. I'm gonna fucking punch you.
Mm-hmm. You don't even think you never think about stones can be removed from the Infinity Gauntlet.
They're not permanent.
At least not in this gauntlet.
Right.
So like you don't even think they're just gonna like fucking clutch move, Thanos. Good job.
Just fucking cold.
Bold strategy. Let's see if that.
Bold strategy, Colin. Let's see if that pays off.
Oh shit! It did.
Whoa! What a doozy there.
Damn.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then obviously that had to happen to set up what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
I called Tony being the one to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I called Cap retiring. So, not that I'm being smug about it in any way, because that's not what my intention here.
I think we got the endings we wanted.
I think we got the only ending that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Cap would have sacrificed himself the way that Tony did, you would not have had that satisfaction of Cap finally getting to retire and not have to fight anymore. And that like in so many ways that is so satisfying to me to just you finally did it. You don't have to fight anymore. Like it's just for his character his whole arc from the first Avenger all the way to Endgame. There is no other way that you could have done that and it been good.
And just think, so he stayed back in time. So all those years he had gained from being thawed until then, those are still there. So his age definitely extended. I mean, he probably definitely has a bit of fountain of youth gene going on with the super serum. Like he definitely doesn't age as fast as most people.
Mm-mm.
But given the fact that he thawed out and then got to live for well over a decade.
70 years.
Well, I mean, thawing out until 2019.
Okay.
Or 2024.
I thought you were saying
No.
1940 to 2024 was over a decade. And I was like,
so essentially,
well, yes, Blaine, that is over a decade.
So him going back in time, that actually probably makes him about 140.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yep.
I mean, the ice probably definitely slowed things down.
I would say they brought him to a halt.
Yeah. But him not going in the ice, wouldn't that change the timeline a little bit?
No, because he was in the ice.
Oh, so he probably went back right after.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, bro, I'm here.
What's up?
So do you think he's going to director
I would like to see
Rogers or Cap? I said
No.
the dumbest thing yesterday. I said director Cap. Director Captain. Oh, that's dumb.
I would now that Tony, initially I said that I would like to see some Stark AI. I want to see if Peter and Rhodey have to have AI. I want it to be Friday. Because
Yeah.
I don't want that voice actress to lose her job because Robert Downey Jr.
We all thought he was going to become an AI.
And I think that would have been cool. But now that he's gone and, between the I Love You 3000 and the cheeseburgers and I number one, I can't take that anymore.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I'm thinking about not going to see the movie again.
I just saw a meme. It was like me to my future kid, and it's like some black dude just yelling at his kid. It's like, tell me you love me 3,000.
Yes. It's done. Scarlett's gone. Robert Downey Jr. is gone. Chris Evans is gone. Let the people that have a hold, that are steering the ship right now, let them shine and let them continue to shine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially like, Chris Evans, Chadwick Boseman, Brie Larson now. I mean, those, obviously Mark Ruffalo. I think I am going to stand by that. He is going to, or he needs to maintain the I'm a companion character instead of being a solo. I don't want any more Hulk movies.
Yeah.
I just want what we've been given from that character, minus Frat Boy Hulk. But yeah, everything makes sense. Tony from Iron Man all the way to Endgame, Cap from the first Avenger to Endgame. Scarlett Johansson's character development, which we didn't get in the beginning, but over the last 5 movies, we've definitely got everything that we need. It's not a super complex character. So
yeah,
basically the original 3, I'm gonna say, not including Thor, just makes sense that it was that way, and I would probably be pissed if it didn't shake out that way. So, I mean, how did you feel? How did you feel when Tony put the gauntlet on and said, "I am Iron Man," and snapped?
I knew he was going to say it. Because he paused so long. And I'm like, he's going to say Iron Man. He's going to say it. It was a really awesome moment, but that awesomeness carried with it some consequence. Had some consequence and weight to it, and I knew it. I was like, this is it. This is going to kill me, but this is it. Like, fuck yeah, this is it.
Fuck yeah, spread it.
And then we get possibly one of the most beautifully fucking thought out and written things. We get Pepper. First we get Spider-Man, and that's, for me, that part was fleeting. And yeah, cool.
I could care less.
We got it. What meant the most to me was Pepper talking to him and saying, and the fact that Tony's not saying anything at this point. He's just there.
He tries to say like 3 words and can't.
Yeah, he's just there. He's hanging on, and he's just there, and you don't really, I guess you probably don't even think about why he's still alive until Pepper says it. She says, "It's okay. We're okay now. You can rest." And it's like, fuck. And then that's when it's like, finally relaxes. And
well, and they foreshadowed that at the beginning of the film when he figured out time travel, and she said, "You won't be able to rest if you don't go do this."
Yeah.
So
you can rest now. And then that's when that's when you see him fade away and die. And I think that was so fucking powerful.
Oh, it's poetic.
And so poetic. And like that's what hit me the most. Not him dying, but the fact that he could finally rest. Like, this is something he's been like, on top, not even including his like trying to right the wrongs of his industry. Like, not trying to right the wrongs of, oh shit, I just sold a bunch of fucking weapons to terrorists and all that shit. I'm talking like post Battle of New York, all that stress and PTSD, and then moving on to the Ultron shit, and like him like trying to rectify the Battle of New York by putting a suit of armor around the Earth, as he said. That's all the shit. That is the shit, and it's plagued his mind ever since Battle of New York. So, like, for Pepper to be like, you can rest now. Like, it's okay. We're gonna be fine. Like, it's so cool because as a character, like as his wife, you would think she wants him to live. Like, you can't, no, like, typically you get, no, don't leave us. You can't die. Like, and you get that struggle and frustration within a character. But no, she accepts that it's time. He did what he had to do, and, he's gonna be gone. She's okay with, she has solace with that. And just the fact that she's like, you can go. I'll be okay. We'll all be okay. You can go. Like, it sucks, but you did your part.
It's the only way they could have done it.
Yeah, and I thought it was so fucking beautiful, and that to me hit home more than him actually dying. I mean, which still carried a ton of weight, but goddamn. And then of course you get all the funeral stuff, which was just, god damn, you can have all the cheeseburgers you want, kid. Fuck. What a somber ending, but such a good ending. It's the ending we deserved.
Yeah. It's everything that we wanted. It's everything that we deserved. I mean, I don't know what else I can say about the ending other than they did it. Not only is this movie an icon, an unprecedented event, never done, but nothing of this scale has ever been done before, and then you end it poetically and just responsibly. They didn't let Tony get the gauntlet and snap and just fly around and fucking pew pew.
Yeah.
It ended. What more can you want for as a fan? Just a fucking fiction. Not even of the genre, just a fiction. What more can you want? The happy ending is not always the right ending.
Yeah.
So, fuck.
And that I know Miranda was just devastated. She's like, I get why he died, but like I just don't accept that he did die.
It's the one.
Yeah,
I know. That just split second where you see Tony look at Strange and it's, he's got his hand up and then it's just one. Tony knows. Tony is willing to sacrifice. Tony has been the one character besides Captain America that every time there has been a challenge they cannot overcome, he's willing to throw his life away. He flew into space with a nuke. He tried to hold a city on his back.
Yeah.
Tried to protect the Earth, and he protected everyone by giving his life. And if Cap would have done it, you expect Cap to do it, and it wouldn't have carried as much weight. And I've been saying that since the first Avengers movie. It always had to be Tony. So.
Yeah.
And it carries that much more weight because the theme of the end of Infinity War with Captain America and Vision is we don't trade lives. That's Cap saying, we don't trade lives. Tony didn't give a shit. He had to do it. And he always had to be the one to do it.
Yeah. Well said.
Thank you.
Very well said.
It makes me very sad.
I know, like I know the reason I'm probably not going to see it within another week or two is just recovery.
Yeah, I mean, like I said a second ago, nothing of this scope has ever been done before. 22 movies over, 2 decades.
And to keep them so cohesive.
Not 2 decades, but a decade worth of material to look so far in the future and be able to guide and navigate and end right there at that point. No one else has ever done anything like that. And I think it'll be, one of the things that has me weary about Phase 4 of the MCU is what are they going to do next? They're either going to aim high and not hit their mark, or they're going to go so high that then they can't top themselves. I mean, what else can you do? What else can you tear away from me?
Yeah.
So,
All right. We're getting to that point, so we have one more quick topic. Wow. Okay.
Is this the thing that we agree on?
Yes.
Okay.
So last week, the final trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters dropped, and
I wondered. I didn't know this was it, but go ahead.
what?
Godzilla.
Oh. So we're both in agreement. We're both ready to see this movie.
Yes.
We're ready to see some fucking Godzilla Ghidorah action.
Mm-hmm. Well, not just Godzilla, Ghidorah. I want to see the supporting monsters
Oh,
too,
yeah,
because they
absolutely.
matter. They matter,
They
folks.
do. Rodan looks ridiculously cool.
I think Mothra This is probably my favorite
Which
version
a
of
lot
Mothra
of people
ever.
are pissed off about the look of Mothra.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit either.
I think it looks cool.
It's
It looks more
updated.
like a moth instead of a butterfly.
Yes.
I dig that.
Yes. So yeah, we're getting all that. There's a lot of I'm super hyped. I want to see. It's one of those movies where, like Endgame, like they're giving us a bunch of shit, but you don't know how all that shit coincides with each other.
Mhm.
Like Endgame, all those trailers told you pretty much nothing. This movie, you see a lot of shit, but you don't know how it all goes together.
Well, and we need to highlight too. You know, we talked about it a little bit on Saturday at LaFiCon. I mean, whatever direction they want to take this Godzilla universe, that's fine. You know, I loved fucking '97 Godzilla, much like you did. I'm a fan of not just this character, I guess, this fucking mashup of characters. I'm a fan of the fucking monster fight 'em up movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I dig them. I always have, and I think I always will. I don't need all the plot and all the human centric stories. I just want to see Godzilla fight other big fucking monsters, man. So even though in the trailers, and much like they did with, did it come out in 2014?
Yeah.
2014 Godzilla with the Bryan Cranston bullshit. I don't really care. I mean, as much as I hated Bryan Cranston, I still loved that movie because I just ignored that all of the human element even existed. I just want to see big fucking monsters fight.
The thing is, that movie is all about the human element.
I know.
Not Bryan Cranston, but just the human reaction.
I know.
The human. It was a natural disaster movie, not a monster brawler.
Thank you.
And
We need more monster brawlers.
I'm pretty sure that's what we're getting with this movie.
Well, and
which is, yeah.
I kind of, in this last trailer and the trailer before, I kind of got the vibe that this is kind of a spiritual successor to Godzilla Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah.
This is basically the modern reboot of that movie, while not being labeled as that movie. So, I'm. Does this movie mean as much as Endgame? Hell no.
No,
Is
it's
this
just
movie-
it's just mindless fun
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Unless it's absolutely spectacular, then it becomes less mindless. So here's the thing. I told you before we started this that I wanted to bring something up that we would totally be in agreement on, that you would probably not agree. You probably wouldn't even think. So you hated Bryan Cranston because you hate Bryan Cranston. I hate how they used him as a draw.
Yes.
They used him. They used his Breaking Bad fucking signature. I'm emotional and I'm yelling. They completely exploited that and brought and did nothing with it. He should have been, if he was going to be a part of that movie, he needed to be more part of that movie than he was. Underutilized. I mean, you probably don't want to hear that.
I think he's overutilized, but
I thought if you're gonna have character,
if you're gonna hype somebody up as being a character in a movie, they need to be a character in the movie.
They
And if
made
they're
it-
not going to be in it very long, it needs to hold weight.
they made it look like he was the movie aside from Godzilla,
Right.
and they did nothing with Aaron Taylor Johnson in the trailers.
Yep. Which I'm okay with Aaron Taylor Johnson in that movie. I think he did a good
same,
job.
Same.
But you could have given me a lot more Godzilla and
Oh,
a
definitely.
lot less Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it been just as good a movie.
Definitely.
So
Again, it's the human response to a
Disaster
natural
movie.
disaster.
I love that you label it as a disaster
Oh,
movie.
absolutely. Because all the perspectives. You don't get the monster brawl. You get people watching the monster brawl.
Right.
You get these fucking shots where you get the scale of things. And Gareth Edwards did fantastic with that. My fear is that is exact they're doing with Millie Bobby Brown,
Talking about
11 Bobby Millie Brown, whatever her fucking name is.
Brown Millie Bobby.
Brown Millie Bobby.
Brown Bobby Millie.
I feel like they're exploiting her. I'm a young girl, and I'm screaming from Stranger Things. Just like they exploited Bryan Cranston. I'm emotional, and I'm
yelling.
and I'm yelling from Breaking Bad.
Right.
Because that was fresh off of Breaking Bad.
Right.
I fear that because that's all you see in the trailers is fucking 11 screaming more, which is all she does in Stranger Things besides be confused and learning things.
And her nosebleed.
And her nose bleeds because she just did psychic shit.
Yep.
Like, I'm almost like, I swear to God, if I see her nosebleed, I'm walking out of the theater.
There's
I'll
a lot
pull a you.
There's a lot of the cast from the trailers and stuff that I've seen that I really, really like.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
All we see of her is her just yelling, screaming.
And I 1000% agree with you, because from what we've seen right now, what we know at this point in time, you could replace that actress, 11, with any other young female actress in Hollywood, and the character probably mean exactly the same.
Yeah. But no other character in Hollywood does that iconic, I'm screaming, and yeah.
Right there with you, my man.
So, yeah, that was my, like,
that's
a bonding moment.
I
for
really
us.
appreciate that, because
because like despite how much I love Bryan Cranston, how much I love Breaking Bad particularly, I agree with you on his role in Godzilla. They exploited the shit out of his signature move.
well, and let's go even farther with Lawrence Fishburne and Predators. We've talked about that one before too.
That pissed me off so much.
Stop bamboozling us
With the trailers, yes.
Stop doing the bait and switch. If you're going to put iconic actors in roles to fill characters, give them some fucking substance. Make them carry some weight.
Yep. Meet those boys up.
Yeah. Put all the meat on it.
And if the shark's going to come, it's going to have a feast.
It's going to eat. Shark's going to eat.
That's all I wanted to say.
I
Godzilla
totally
2.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be... Like I said, I'll pull a page from your book and I'll fucking walk out of that theater if I see her fucking nose bleed because she's screaming.
I'm probably going to leave if her nose bleeds.
I'm kidding. I won't do that because I want to see the full movie, but I'll be pissed because that's just that is poor writing. That is poor execution in writing. Like, you could have utilized. How do you think they feel as act? How do you think Bryan Cranston feels about his role in that movie? How do you think Millie Bobby Brown? Millie Brown, Bobby. How do you think she feel? How do you think she's gonna feel if that's what ended up happening? Like,
I don't think Bryan Cranston gives a shit, but
he probably doesn't.
But Ricky Bobby probably gives a shit.
She's young enough where this is her career.
It's gonna matter to her career.
And she's like, what am I, a fucking joke to you people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, cool.
This is a role that a lot of people are gonna cast off and throw away.
Yeah, because until now, she's just been Stranger Things.
But as far as directors and producers go, moving forward, this movie will matter to her career.
Yeah,
As much as it should not, because it's a fucking Godzilla movie, but it will matter to her career.
Yeah.
So
that's that.
that's all I got to say.
That's all I got to say about that. We're going to go ahead and close this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Tyler, for coming back.
Thank you.
Returning. Who knows how long this will last.
Don't say it that way.
Yeah, hopefully you can keep coming back for more. I mean,
I got a couple more weeks of school, and then it's going to go back to normal.
Sweet. Awesome.
Just got to get through May.
Awesome. So yeah. Again, big shout out to good old Rolo the Destroyer.
R.I.P.
White Cheddar White. Richard Olovich. Here's to you, buddy. If that is all, please make every day a Big Dick Day, and please check us out live every Tuesday on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. You can check out exclusive content such as Game of King Chair every Thursday live on those same feeds, and it comes out in audio form on Friday on the Podcastrophe feed. So if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to Podcastrophe, and you will get Game of King Chair, where we chronicle and review each episode of the final season of Game of Thrones. It's been a great time so far. This week we're gonna have Brandon and Nick on again. Nick, of course, being on because he's a co-host, and then we have another guest as well. So we're gonna break down the Battle of Winterfell, the Long Night. So please check that out. If you're listening to this in audio form, you will get this tomorrow. And definitely big shout out and thank you to the Journey into Comics Network, where there are a ton of amazing shows like Journey into Comics, like Brews with Dudes, and all the other shows. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/podcastrophe. Just anything helps. I'm not going to go through the tiers. I'm not going to go through our goals. Whatever you want to pledge it. I mean, even if it's as low as $1, it's there, and it helps us out tremendously. So if you have like a spare buck or two per month, shoot it over to us. You know, we really appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton. So again, if that is all, please make every day a Big Dick Day.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Goes. I'm a lesbian seagull, and I'm flying so high over a sea full of seagulls, for one to catch my eye, so I can come. So I can come, so I can come, so I can come. Well, I'm a heterosexual bald eagle. I'm flying over this land, but I might be bisexual. I'm looking for a woman or another man, so I can come, so I can come, so I can come, so I can come. And then my favorite verse. I'm a hermaphroditic panda, kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. I was born with both a vagina and an abnormally tiny penis, but they cut it off, oh, they cut it off. I can't get hard, I'm always soft. Oh, they cut it off, oh, they cut it off. Thank you, everybody.